I've just sent Mike a WhatsApp saying, "Where are you?"
Oh, he's ringing me now.
Ah,
we have liftoff. Well, we're having quite a nice little chat here.
Are you still on my Zoom call?
I'm still on your Zoom call. We're recording it. It's been great.
Are you going to let me back in?
Well, you haven't tried to get back in.
how can we do that?
What do you mean I haven't tried?
Well, there's no evidence on here. How are you getting in? Have you paid your phone bill?
Yeah. My computer now says that I have attempted to log into my email account too many times, and I'm now not There's a thing that's come up that says enter the characters you see. We'll probably still wiggling all over the screen.
Well, you can see two characters. That's Julian and me.
That's right, Julian. Professional.
Oh, do you want to try this again tomorrow night?
What? Yeah.
It might be better, mightn't it?
It may very well be.
Or not.
Part two.
Or not.
Part two, couldn't we?
Yeah, fine. And do you want to book out a slot for Wednesday and Thursday as well, or Friday?
Oh, ye of little faith.
We're going through to July. Is that all right?
We might get through July. Oh, he's back.
Yay!
Right, turn that off.
God.
Now, can you see us and hear us now?
Yeah, I can. Got you loud and clear.
Yay!
It all
Fantastic. Well done.
Julian and Phil. No, don't do that to me. No. No.
Hi, I'm Mike Brampton.
And my name is Julian Ho.
Welcome to Veterinary Ramblings. Yeah, I think let's get our special guest in with no further ado, because Dr. Phil is quite well known, particularly amongst the veterinary. Here he is. Here's Dr. Phil. Good evening, Dr. Phil. How are you?
Well, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
We're okay.
We're all fine.
Now,
Good to see you, Phil.
I've just to give you a little bit of background and introduce you to our viewers, I've been doing some Googling about you, and I've searched quite a lot and have come up. Let me share my screen here with your other job when you're not vetting. It seems that you provide the most comprehensive forum on mental health issues in the history of television.
Yeah, that's not actually me. That's your twin brother, I think, isn't it?
It looks more like you, Mike, than
It does
than
look
Phil.
remarkably like Mike.
No.
What did you Google there, Mike? How did you find Phil on Google?
Dr. Phil? Well,
By the way, other search engines are available.
Right. What I did was I just put Dr. Phil. I couldn't spell Lhermette, so I figured that was a French name, so it must be short for the Met. So I just put Dr. Phil the Met, and I found out all about his TV show and everything. Sorry?
Right.
Yes.
What you've done there, Mike, is you've got the wrong Phil Lhermette.
Which is a difficult thing to do, to be fair. There's not
kind of
many
difficult.
Lhermettes about.
Oh.
Not many.
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was quite excited that you got a TV show on the States and it was syndicated out and everything, and it was like a daytime talk show host
It
show.
does look remarkably like you. I mean, this isn't your alter ego.
No, sorry. Okay. After all of that, I think I need a drink. So shall we cut and do the drink section? And
That
would
sounds
you?
like an excellent idea to me.
Idea.
Slice of lemon?
I've just gone gin and
You
tonic.
just do your own thing, and I'll
I'm gonna
show
go and
you.
get some limes today. I had to go into the shop. I had to risk my life today to go and get a lemon for this show. They didn't
That's
have
very
any
good.
limes.
That's admirable, Phil. Thank you very much indeed for that.
Yeah.
That's admirable.
If life gives you melons, you might be dyslexic.
Probably. I'm just
Cheers.
stunned at such hedonism and barbarism for preparing one of the world's greatest ever drinks that is a gin and tonic.
Thank you.
It wasn't a compliment.
Oh, sorry, I thought it was a compliment. Sorry. Right.
Come with me and I will show you how to make a gin and tonic and how to make a good gin like Bombay Sapphire even better. Come this way.
Okay.
Oh, I'm feeling nauseous. Oh, look at that.
Right.
Bombay Sapphire.
Yeah, yeah.
And a wine glass. Got the wrong glass.
This is called a gin glass, Phil. There we go.
Someone's broken the stem off mine.
I have one of them.
Right.
Ah,
One gin glass. So, one
That's
lime.
for this.
What we do is we just zest the lime off with a peeler and get that worked in around the rim of the glass.
I reckon we'd have had our gin by now.
Well, you carry on drinking. I'm preparing an infinitely nicer one. Now, ice. This is an ice cube.
Or a small meteorite, we're not sure. Could be either.
It could be possible. Slice off the lime. And a dribble of lime in there. Just to pick out some of those tangy citrus notes that you get with your Bombay Sapphire. Other gins are available. Oh. Here's one I prepared earlier. Whoops.
Have you got any of those little umbrellas that go in that?
Don't be absurd.
Or a little plastic monkey?
Don't be absurd. That's outrageous. This is a drinking gin. So,
Who measures the gin out at home?
well, I do. Then you know how much you've got left in the bottle.
Well, you obviously
this-
don't. You had an empty bottle just then.
Now, this is a tonic water. Other tonic waters are, of course, available.
It's gone now.
He's gone. Where's he gone?
It's gone. He's back again.
Ah, there we go.
Yeah,
It's all about preparation, isn't it? Have everything to hand.
absolutely. And there we go. And we'll save that for the other 3 gins later. So, one perfect Bombay Sapphire and tonic. Cheers.
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 Right. So, is it true that you can spay a cat in 2 minutes through a hole no bigger than 4 millimeters?
Oh, 30 seconds usually. It does take a bit longer than that, yes.
The setup is an hour. The procedure itself is 30
Setup
seconds.
takes longer than doing the procedure, that's for sure.
It's all right. It's just that some people say that that's what you can do.
You persuaded me to start doing laparoscopy.
I showed you the light.
Yeah, you did. I still can't see properly out of that eye, actually. Will you show someone a little further away? A halogen one, wasn't it? And I got my money back. You know, in 1 year, I invested in the system, and it paid for itself in 1 year. It's great, really good.
Well, if you buy it on lease purchase, essentially it pays for itself from day one.
That, and I completely overcharged everyone. It's fantastic.
No, but if you're paying on a lease and you're doing about 4 big spays a month, that pays for it all. And you can do rhinoscopy, cystoscopy, otoscopy, thoracoscopy, arthroscopy, any other oscopy you like.
Yeah, and I invested in the ligashore.
Sorry?
I invested in the ligashore as well.
Ligashore, yeah, they're great.
Which is great because also now I can do staphylectomies very easily indeed.
Yeah.
In fact, I got a
Rickenfeld's quite expensive, but they're really good.
that's
And
fantastic.
there are other cheaper options. There are other options available. So
Really good. And when you're practicing using it, you can make really, really, really small snack and sandwich shaped things out of bread.
you can.
Yeah, it's great with real ham, Mike. It's very good.
Right.
Yeah.
You get beep, beep, beep when it's ready. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to swiftly go and get another tonic. You're all distracted by the mug now. You can't see me gone.
It's strangely quiet without him, really, isn't it?
It is actually. It's quite pleasant, actually, in many respects.
Cheers.
Cheers, there, sir.
Hmm.
I don't know. So, Phil, the practice is Elands Vet.
It is.
Why don't you call it Lhermette the Vet? Tell me that's a glitch, Phil. Phil? Phil? Where's he gone? Phil? Phil? Julian, come back. Well, I'm not sure quite what to do now because I wanted to tell you the joke about me challenging Phil when you'd gone about why he called it Elands Vet and not Lhermette the Vet. And
Go on then.
break, when everything went crazy, I said, "Why did you call it Elands Vet and not Lhermette the Vet?" And he went.
I was just stunned at your question.
I was going, Phil, can you hear me? Phil, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
I thought you were just sitting there still, but obviously you were frozen. I couldn't see a thing.
I was frozen and kicked off the internet for that joke.
Are you having another gin?
Behind.
I've almost finished.
Hey, no, I'm not having another gin because I'll be something to do with Peru and all that sort of stuff. Really tonic.
Not Mad Karoo from the poem. There's a one-eyed yellow idol to the north of Kathmandu.
Really?
There's a little wooden cross above the town. There's a tender-hearted woman tends a grieve of Mad Karoo, and the little god.
For that, but you didn't because did you see that film? Did he just lock up and? Oh Christ!
No, I didn't see that at all. I was so
It's a
fascinated
great
by this
poem. It's
wonderful
not my
poem.
favourite. My favourite poem, I'm sure it's yours too, is The Lady of Shalott.
Like, go on to what?
The Lady of Shalott.
No, guys, no.
Scott.
What?
Yes, it'd be brilliant.
No.
Yes, a unique selling point. No? No good. We could just sing Poisoning Pigeons in the Park then by Tom Lehrer.
The 10 seconds of total silence and the two of you sitting there going,
So where were we before so rudely interrupted about an hour and a half ago?
I need a drink.
Yes.
I think that's where we were. Yeah, there we go.
Oh,
I need more drink. Oh, man.
my ice is melting. It's been so long.
Dear, oh dear. So did you have a pleasant Zoom call, gentlemen?
It was very nice, thank
It was
you.
lovely.
I recorded it
Very
all
good,
for
yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Still recording.
Excellent.
It'll be fine.
What have I missed?
Oh,
Everything.
well, you got an hour?
Guys, I'm doing a global business study thing at the moment. Working with a whole series of big, small companies, all sorts of people. And they like to call each other geniuses. And I said I didn't want to be called genius. So they called me Stultus. Well, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
So they call me Stultus, which I think is good. Yeah.
Right, yes. Yeah, no, that's good. That's good, Mike. Yeah.
Stultus.
Stultifyingly good, yes. Excellent.
Yeah. I think it stands for star or something like that.
Almost certainly. Almost
Yeah.
certainly, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did they give you a
Origins.
little sort of triangular or conical cap to wear?
Yeah, yeah. It's,
With Delta in
right.
it.
it's like that.
Oh, he's gone again.
Where have you gone? What happened there?
You went.
You must pay your phone bill. It's just ridiculous.
So you're claiming that I'm a host, so I can now click out of this.
Well, you've just gone again.
Disappeared.
That isn't going to work then, is it?
It's like Mr.
Clinically,
Ben,
what is
isn't it?
intermittent blackouts? What's the clinical cause of this? Gin, I suspect.
Without the use of your computer, can you explain why we give carbon dioxide to our abdomens, not ours, but our patients' abdomens, during laparoscopy?
No. No,
Okay,
but I
good.
think I do know somebody who might know the answer to that.
Phil.
Phil!
No,
I'm up here to you.
he's there now.
I don't know. You were on the top and now you're at the bottom. Why do we use carbon dioxide?
Why do you use carbon dioxide for endoscopy work, Phil?
One, it's cheap.
Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
That's good.
Like
Yeah.
that.
It's cheap.
Yeah.
It doesn't support combustion, so when you're zapping away with lasers or electrosurgery, you're less likely to explode your patient.
Always a
Yeah,
good
that's
thing.
good.
Yeah, it's always an advantage. And it's also
Yep.
a physiological gas, it's well absorbed, in which case you're less likely to get an embolism. Or if you do, it's absorbed very quickly.
I mean, there's big words, eh?
What, embolism?
Yeah.
They've got big legs, those.
Do you remember that bottle of gin I had earlier on? This one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh.
Do you remember?
Has it evaporated?
Yeah,
Did you leave
I left the lid off.
You left the lid off, yeah. You
Yeah.
definitely flame. It's evaporated, yeah.
Yeah.
I was saying to Harry earlier because I'd read that that drinking too much causes all sorts of hallucinogenic and psychomodulatory effects, and I said to Harry, look, you shouldn't drink. You shouldn't drink because it'll make you a little bit crazy. And he said to me, I won't. I mean, and Harry lives in my thumb, and I'll let him tell you himself. Don't drink, it's very bad for you. Just say no, kids. And what, Mike? What? You're going off topic here. What is it? I know. I've told him. What? I said what? What? Ah!
I thought Harry was his tortoise.
Sorry, Harry has said that he doesn't live in my thumb. He's a real person.
Is there any hope for the profession after this?
No, not at all. I've had 4 cases of paracetamol poisoning since I've been qualified, and all of them in cats. All of them have been from GP.
Yeah.
And they all started off as an out-of-hours call. My cat hasn't been well for a few days, so I gave her some paracetamol, and now she's really not well. I'm kidding. And I have to say, I mean, very, very anti-GPs. They have a very difficult job. I've got a very good friend who's a GP who's absolutely fantastic. But there does, in a small number of cases, seem to be this disconnect between science.
Actually, it really, seriously, it really worries me that the medical profession has a real disconnect from the veterinary profession.
Yeah.
Because the One Health initiative is really, really important. And we
One
have,
Health, except for the others.
well, except the others, yeah. But they don't take vets seriously. at all.
No,
And
no, no.
there's so many things, you know. I remember some years ago they were coming out with this great new thing in people they just discovered was fecal transplants and things that could be.
Mm.
We've been doing it for 20, 30 years. And you think, well, you know, there should be more communication, really. But they just don't at all. They just poo-poo vets as being irrelevant. And it's, I mean, just look at the COVID-19 outbreak. I mean, how would a vet have carried out that rather than the way they've done it? Or you know, a foot and mouth outbreak, you wouldn't possibly have dealt with the same way as they dealt with the COVID outbreak. Just
No, absolutely. We're more used to controlling pandemics in the veterinary
They're
world.
used to treating things. They're not used to controlling them.
Yeah,
They're not used to prevention and control them. They're used to just treating things. So they don't mind if it spreads everywhere and they just treat it afterwards.
Yeah.
That's not the way to deal with it.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. Absolutely right.
Yeah.
We listen to DEFRA. We take infection control very, very seriously because we're usually dealing with herds.
Well, that's it. We're dealing with
and GPs are dealing with individuals.
Yeah.
We're through my career, I've worked in various animal laboratories and worked on various animal stuff on the human side, and there is a big disconnect between the two sciences.
It really shouldn't be. I mean, there's so many similarities and so much crossover between infections and everything else.
Everything. You're absolutely right. I mean, one of my quests at the moment is to overturn some of the major discrepancies in one of the big veterinary anesthesia textbooks. And that has come because somebody in veterinary science has quoted a series of numbers, and they've just been quoted textbook. Whereas the humans have actually measured the systems and have gone, oh, right, well, out of all of this whole cohort, we found this, and they have gone in a completely different direction. But from the human side, I've been going back into theatres recently a lot on the anaesthesia side, into human theatres, and there's you do what with dogs and cats? Well, we anaesthetise them, we intubate them, and you do what operation?
No idea what we do.
No, none whatsoever.
That's a real shame.
As a physiologist, I know I've got a strange view on life and a strange view on science, but you know, for me, a living system, whether it be a human, whether it be a cat, whether it be a rabbit, whether it be a dog, we're all fluid-filled sacs.
Broadly similar. And I think, you know, the physiology may vary slightly, but it's, you know, we're all different species within the mammalia, and there's not that massive difference.
That's the
point. Not a huge amount at all.
People are massively different to everything else. No, we're not.
Well, from my perspective, and as I say, I know that some people criticise me for having warped ideas, but we're all fluid-filled sacs held together by skin, or held in by skin, and supported by muscles and bones. But when we start breaking that down into physiological systems, what's the difference between a cat and a small baby? Very little. One's not
very little. There are interesting differences in enzyme.
I fully accept.
And actually, that they provide the paradigm, don't they, for various illnesses and diseases. So, for example, paracetamol we've mentioned.
Yeah.
So,
the basic things like basic nursing and things are pretty much the same between every species.
Absolutely.
Exactly the same. Temperature loss, anesthesia.
So, how many pens have you had now?
This evening.
Yeah.
Just the
just the one.
One.
Just the one.
Yeah. How many have you had?
Well, I've had the best part of a bottle of wine, but I might as well start off on the gin again.
May as well.
Sounds
Continuity.
reasonable.
I've still got the same glass I had last night.
With the ice drawn on it?
No, I washed it. It's the same glass. I washed it because it was dirty because I had a few whiskies after the gin last night, and I filled it up with gin again now.
Continuity, you should have an ice cube drawn on it, really, shouldn't you? But yeah.
Should do, shouldn't I? Where's
Yeah, I think we've got to pay attention to continuity.
Yes.
Yes.
Cheers, Bill.
Someone's nicked a gold pen. Hold on.
Oh, where's he gone? Yeah, but we know what happened last time he walked off like that.
Here we go. Here we go.
I never did. I never did hear your answer to the question about why Elands Vet. Why not? Because it was that moment that everything sort of went.
Well, it was obviously such a question of such great import, really, wasn't it? Well, basically, yeah, I couldn't really call it Lhermette the Vet because basically it sounds ridiculous, doesn't it? No one can spell Lhermette anyway. So,
Well, Lhermette by moonlight.
Well, exactly. I could change my name by default to Smith. No, I'd spent some time working in Africa as a student, and I thought that an eland would give me a nice logo, and it's near the top of the alphabet. So in the old days of yellow pages, that was quite important. And eland's a fairly easy word to spell, so it worked out reasonably well, except you then get clients turning up asking to see Mr. Eland, so you can't win either way, really.
What's all this about diabetes in cats? What is that all about?
Well, they get diabetes. To be serious for a moment, I don't think it's entirely just diabetes in cats. I think it's probably not so much diabetes, just obesity in cats. That's an interesting point because it sort of mirrored the obesity epidemic in people. In certainly, because I'm a really old fart and I can go back many, many years. When I first graduated in the early 80s, I distinctly remember doing all the cat sprays I ever did at sort of 6 months old. You'd go through a layer of skin, through a layer of muscle into the abdomen. Ooh, excuse me, go away. It's my daughter trying to get me from the surgery now. Yeah, so you go through a layer of skin, a layer of muscle, and go into the abdomen.
Right.
And then nowadays you don't get that. You basically go through the skin, you go through about 1 centimetre of fat, and then you go into the abdomen. That's 6 months of age. And that is routine. It's all the time. And the only difference really that's changed dramatically over that period of time is the change in diet. Because cats used to be on pure meat diets, tinned food and so on. Now they're almost all on kibbles. And a cat basically is designed to eat about a sort of 6-7% carbohydrate diet. A mouse doesn't contain a vast amount of fat, a vast amount of carbohydrate. But kibbles are between 40 and 60% carbohydrate. And
so Mike and I were chatting about this actually a little while back, and the carbohydrate in mice is presumably just glycogen stores in the liver and whatever they have eaten in the stomach.
Any bit of gut contents and a bit of other bits and pieces, yes. Yeah. There's not a great deal of carbohydrates at all.
They really come wrapped in shredded wheat, do they?
Not very often, no. Hence you've got kibbles, which are balanced up. They're really good diets. But in terms of macronutrients, they seem to be erring much more on the side of carbohydrate, and therefore you're getting much more of a problem with obesity in dogs and cats. Well, I don't think one can blame Big Pharma and things all the time for these things. I mean, they're following what people want. They want cheaper diets. They want convenient diets you can stick in a bowl. And, with the old tin diets, you put a load of meat in a cat dish and eat a little bit, go away, come back and say, well, even that's a bit old and dried out. So, you wasted a lot. Yeah. So there are good reasons why kibbles have taken off, and they're very popular, very handy, they're cleaner to use and so on.
Plus which, I think we're being a bit unfair on big farmers, because there was one that we used to treat when I worked with you, Phil, that was really nice. He was a huge guy, but couldn't have been nicer. Couldn't have been nicer.
That's true. And I suppose,
but he did like his carbohydrates.
He did.
He did.
Done a lot of research because I became diabetic about 5-6 years ago, which sort of stimulates the mind a little bit, and so I've looked into that in rather a lot of detail in terms of dietary causes and things of diabetes. So which you don't really think about. I mean, I know the basics of it as a vet, but didn't really look at it in great detail.
And you're managing it with diet, are you?
Yes, I originally, I came over all diabetic one afternoon in the surgery. Friday afternoon, and I was just really, really thirsty. I thought, this doesn't feel right. So I tested myself in the surgery, and the glucometer wouldn't even read it, which was a bit disappointing, really. So I rang my doctor up and said, I think I'll come and see you. And they stuck me on insulin 4 times a day for a couple of months. And then I went on a thing called the Newcastle diet, which was 500 calories a day for 3 months, which was challenging and exciting.
Yeah.
So a small milkshake in the morning, a little salad at night, and that was it. So, and no drink. So that was, I'm not on that anymore.
Right.
No.
But that got me off all the insulin, and now I managed it by diet alone, just cut out the carbohydrate.
Right.
But actually it's remarkably difficult cutting out carbohydrate because everything's got sugar and things in it. They add sugar to bacon, ham. I mean, everything's got sugar in it. You know, it's very, very difficult. Have to go back to fresh foods all the time, really, to avoid sugar. It's very difficult to cut it out.
You restrict your carbohydrates quite a bit, don't you, Mike?
Me, yeah, absolutely. It's, I enjoy doing it. I think I picked that up originally from working with British cycling and British swimming, because their athletes over winter will go more or less onto a keto diet, and the level of the level that they train at comes down low level. So they'll do lots and lots of miles and not raise their heart rates. They're keeping the heart rate low. The respiration rate is low, and it's tuning to burn fat as an energy source. And if we think about it, I mean, evolutionary wise, fat is a fantastic way to store energy for when you can't eat. So
really, in terms of evolution, I mean, the availability of carbohydrate has been very, very recent.
Yeah, very much so.
It's only been in the last few thousand years. I mean, if you think about evolution of man as being about 24 hours, then essentially farming came along about 2 or 3 hours ago, and the increase in sugar content that we eat now came along about 4 seconds ago.
Yeah.
You know,
Well, you're absolutely right there, Phil. You're absolutely right. In fact, it was only last week I managed to get my first big bag of flour.
Really?
Yeah. So your Newcastle diet, 500 calories a day. And presumably you had to talk in a sort of Newcastle-like accent, did you, as well, to burn the calories like?
Nobody noticed.
Something like that, yeah. No, it wasn't much fun for the first week or so, but then after that, actually, you don't feel particularly hungry. It wasn't a problem, really. Has he gone to got dressed again now?
Mike, was that a continuity error?
Sorry? No.
So, yeah, we've covered quite a lot, actually. This is science, isn't it? We've been doing science with the carbohydrate stuff.
Almost.
Yeah.
When you look at it, people have been, eating fats and protein since time immemorial for the last several 100,000 years, whereas carbohydrates have been on the market relatively recently, and sugar even more recently.
They have. Having said that, the life expectancy has improved somewhat since 100,000 years ago, hasn't it?
Yeah. I think when you look at a lot of the work of the missionaries and the mission hospitals and things that went out to Africa and South America and so on, looked at or worked with native tribes and things out there, they found almost no cancer, almost no blood pressure, almost no heart attacks, none of these diseases that we get now, no Alzheimer's, no inflammatory bowel disease, all these sort of things. They only came along when they started eating Western diets, when they started up in the carbohydrates. So it is, and started the gin. The gin is the other.
And the gin. So,
yeah, I mean,
£22 at Lidl's. It's only on special, and unfortunately, when this edition airs, they will have sold out. It's very nice. Very nice.
I'm moving on from gin now. I'm going to have little drappy of Glenfarclas.
Okay.
Do you notice we've got our names on the?
Oh yes.
I don't think it's
Julian's Phil's son. Oh God. Yes. Oh God.
That stems from a time when I was working at Elands, and one of the clients came in and they said, "I saw your dad last week," and I thought, "How the hell could that have happened? Because he died 10 years ago." What's going on? And it turned out that they thought I was Phil's son. I mean, I had hair then, but that was the only. I felt very sorry for Phil at that stage.
The clients are very deluded. I had somebody came in, I had a lady came in with about 3 or 4 little kids alongside, sort of ankle biters and sort of up to waist height.
Yeah.
It was about 10 years ago before I left, where I moved practice. And she said, "You won't remember me. You used to come and treat my horse when I was a little girl." Did I? Changed a bit. I said, "Oh, you lovely lady."
Maybe she had progeria. She was actually only 27.
Or something, God knows, but yeah. Yeah.
Were you frantically looking at the notes to try and find her name so you could say, "It's all right, Phyllis, I remember very well"?
Very, very well, yes. I usually look at notes to find out who people are before they come in.
All right.
I used to work with a man he was absolutely rubbish at remembering anything. I mean, he'd lose his keys, he couldn't remember what he'd done, no idea where he was going. But he had such a brilliant memory for clients. You know, somebody would walk in and say, "Oh, Phyllis Smith, I haven't seen you for what must be 6 years now. You had a daughter, what was her name? Elspeth. She was going to Nottingham University to study law, wasn't she? How's she doing now?" You think, how the fuck does he remember all this? Unbelievable. I mean, he just remembered clients and all their family bits all the time.
Amazing. I mean, all the people.
He was brilliant at it, but he was just useless at everything else. He could never remember anything other than that. But, you know, if you can't remember anything else, that's the thing to remember.
It is. I'm hopeless at that. This is going back a couple of years now. I was in Tesco's. I believe other supermarkets are available. And I saw a client and I vaguely recognised her. And when she came close, she reeked this funny talc smell. And I thought, that jogged my memory. I thought, I know her. I said, "Hello." I said, "How are you?" She said, "Oh, hello, Julian. You're right." I said, "Yeah. How's Peter?" Referring to her rabbit. And as soon as I saw her face drop, I thought, "Oh yeah, I put him to sleep last week, didn't I? I remember now." She was very kind. She said, "Oh, you must get lots and lots of pets."
You meet people, because you as you get kids and things, you meet people from the school, and you meet people socially, and then you meet people at work, and you're trying to put, when you meet somebody out of context in the supermarket, I mean, you're trying to work out, are they from school? Are they from work? Are they from somewhere else? You're trying to sort of work out who they are.
I know. I had a funny incident actually along those lines a couple of years. Well, I say a couple of years ago, before I was married. I was making love with this girl, quite nice. Her name was Doris, and she said to me, "Darling," she said, "Am I the first woman you've made love to?" And I looked at her and I said, "Do you know, you might be. I've got such a bad memory for faces."
God, it's terrible. When my first practice, the senior partner was working part-time, and I was standing in the bank, in the queue in the bank, and there was another assistant standing behind me, and this guy came in at the end. We said, "Oh, hello, Mr. Berry, how are you?" He said, "Oh, hello." He said, "How is it? Is it getting better?" He said, No, we work for you." "Oh, right, that's good." That's sort of universal. Everybody has the same problem.
Brilliant. Oh, hello there. How are you?
Good Lord.
Puppy dogs. I think she wants to go out, actually. I think she's desperate to go out.
Have you got a warm feeling in your lap?
Yeah, I am, actually. I think she needs
Oh, the gin's run out.
Oh.
back on.
I have to go on to the red wine now.
So what's this one?
Another sip of whiskey. There we go.
Oh,
Guys.
So what's this? I mean, it's red in colour. What is it then, Phil?
What is it?
Yeah.
It's a Merlot.
Mm-hmm.
A Merlot, very nice.
Very
From-
nice. From?
Is it a particular Merlot? Is it a Chilean
It is-
Merlot? Or a...
It is a Chilean, I think it's Chilean Merlot. Yeah, I haven't got the bottle with me actually now, but
Yeah.
beyond the time when I can actually think what it was.
The Chilean Merlots are very intensely blackcurranty, aren't they?
Yeah, it's very nice actually.
And a higher alcohol content as well because it's warmer in Chile.
I hadn't
Usually
noticed.
around 10%. Yeah. We've got so many new vineyards around our area. Almost all of them.
There's a lot in the UK.
What, in
And
Spain?
actually,
Yeah.
some very good wine. We've got one just down the road from here. There's a lot of very good wines produced in the UK, but they're so
Yeah.
expensive what they are.
Absolutely.
That's the
We've got Nye Timber just up the road. It's our
Yeah.
usual daily walk around the Nye Timber estate. And it's delicious, really nice sparkling wine. It's won a few Medal d'Or and things, but it's 25 quid a bottle for the cheapest one.
Yeah.
And
See, we get. My grandfather was
Buy a bottle of gin for that.
French. Sorry.
You can buy a bottle of gin for 25 quid.
My grandfather was a solicitor, but he was a solicitor for the fruit and wine trade, basically.
Right.
And he used to get all the sort of main vineyards would send the best of their crop to the people that they liked, and he had a wine cellar that would just unbelievable.
Right.
But he always bought his champagne from a little vineyard in Champagne, Ruelle Patois, which is a absolutely cracking champagne. It's really nice.
Right.
They don't sell it over here. They sell it, and we were looking actually on the internet, they sell it in New York for about 130 quid a glass.
a
It's
glass.
about 12 quid a bottle if you buy it at the vineyard. And it's really, really nice. It's one of the best champagnes I've ever drunk. It's fantastic.
Really?
Ruelle Patois is great. So if you want to get some of that,
I remember that.
you have
Whereabouts
to
in
import it, but if you look it up on the internet, and they'll send it over to you.
Yeah.
Yeah?
If you mention Lhermette, they know all our family.
I'm going to make a note of that. Ruelle.
Ruelle, R-U-E-L-L-E.
Hang on, wait, slow down.
R-U-E-L-L-E.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pertois, P-E-R-T-O-I-S.
P-E-R.
T-O-I-S. It's cracking. It's really good. Different
In
world.
Chelsea, in a marketing advertising bureau. And time's up, is it?
Can you turn the light off on your vivarium?
Oh. The answer is no. It's on timer, and the timer is held way back. So
I've only just noticed.
You've now got a lightsaber entering your right ear, but
Yeah, but it's better than right across the front of his face, isn't it?
yeah, there is that. No, it's better when it's across the front of his face. You can't see so much.
has that been going on the entire night?
Oh, that's so offensive. Sorry.
I know, so true.
Yes, I know.
Do you know, I've put up with Phil's insults for 24 years, is it?
I have a solution for that.
And I love them. Cheers.
What?
Cheers.
Yes.
You were just on the button push then.
Ooh.
I'm
was
loving this
talking about-
technology now. I found out you can dump anybody into the waiting room. But I did a lot of work at Chessington in the 90s with the lions, the tigers, and the snow leopards.
I wonder.
Interesting. I saw practice at Howlett Zoo
Yes.
Oh, down in
back
Kent.
in the day, and Kent, yeah. Howlett's and Port Lim.
And
Both.
Port Lim's a good zoo, actually.
It's cracking, yeah. It's pretty nice. They're both very nice. I worked with the gorillas and the tigers, so mainly, but with other things as well. But they were really, really nice. They're the biggest group of lowland gorillas in the world. So it was really actually interesting because I the first day I was working with gorillas, I was sitting in the dormitory area around the back, to have my lunch, and all the keepers had buggered off to go have their lunch, this and the other. And one of the female gorillas, Muila, who came in and started giving birth. So I thought, well, being a keen veterinary student, I sat there and took notes of what she was doing, this, that, and the other. And when the guy came back, I said, oh, well, while you're gone, Muila came in here and had a baby. He said, what? So I've worked here 15 years. I've never seen one have birth. What are you doing? I said, well, I'm sorry. It's my first day. I took notes.
Brilliant. Well,
I've just got the warning that the internet connection is unstable. So let's talk one person at a time. Phil, let's see these photographs. These look like serious gold. Oh, bring her up to the screen. Wow.
Mate of mine, it looks a bit like Julian. This was a Wapiti.
oh,
There was a footpath that went through alongside the zoo, and they found one of these with a crossbow bolt in its antler. So somebody on the footpath tried to shoot the bloody thing. Can't believe it. Yeah, this was a little character study of them. They're cracking, actually. Yeah.
Did you take these, Phil?
Yeah. I took them, developed them, did everything with them. That was the big silverback.
What camera did you use?
That was Muila. That was the one that had the baby, with the baby.
This is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What camera did you
That
have?
was Kibabu, who was one of the youngsters. Oh, yeah, they're cracking, yeah. What else do they have?
What camera did you use?
Oh, this was an old, it might have been a Nikon FE, I think, in these days.
A Nikon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other camera makes are available.
There are, apparently.
Well, they are, but they're not as
Chased by this.
good.
I went in the bloody field and they had these buffalo in there. I thought, well, they look fairly docile, so I went in there and took some pictures. The bloody thing chased me. I had to leap across the fence and jump over the bloody fence with it.
They're widely renowned as the most dangerous animal in the zoo, aren't they, buffalo?
Yeah.
These are beautiful, Phil. What are you doing with them?
It was, sorry?
These are...
What I do with them?
Yeah.
Not a lot.
Why not?
You should sell those. They're amazing. And
Seriously, Phil, those are beautiful photographs.
they are amazing.
Digitize them.
That's nice of you to say so.
No, they are. They're really, really nice. And you ought to... It's not for me to tell you what to do with your photographs, but they need framing, they need digitizing, absolutely. They're beautiful.
They need selling.
So is
I think it's pronounced it.
Is this the cue to do CPD and capnography then?
We could do that, couldn't we? We could do that. I was just going to
Waveforms?
Waveforms. Yeah, let's
Waveforms.
take him off there. I'll save me putting him in.
What?
Save me putting him in the waiting room, because you know what that's like, don't you, Phil? It's all black and empty, and there's nothing there, and there's nobody. That's all right, Julian. I won't put you in the. Not if you behave yourself, Julian. I've got one for you. Let me get my screen up.
Great. Excellent.
Let me have a quick look here. So let's scoot off to.
He's scooting again.
Yeah, I'm scooting. I'm scooting away.
That's anal glands, isn't it?
We've seen a few of those, non-urgent.
Yeah. What, anal glands?
Yeah.
Oh,
hello. There we go.
Let's
Searching the
go.
west.
Let's take just 2 minutes out.
Haynes Metical.
Yep. Let's take 2 minutes out, and we'll go to the Capnography Resource Centre on Thames Medical, and I'm going to show you this one and see how.
Oh, dear.
Have you actually seen this one, Julian?
I've not only seen it, I've climbed it.
Yeah, you probably have, because you've been to climbing, aren't you?
I am indeed. But
Yeah.
no, I have seen those, and it was in a deep-chested dog.
Okay. Yeah, that's not unusual. How about you, Phil? Have you seen this one up on your
About 25 kilogram Labrador, I've seen it in. I've seen it in a 25 kilo Labrador.
No, it would never happen in a 25 kilo Labrador, would it?
You don't think so?
Sure.
Unusual.
Yeah.
I doubt it. Would it really?
Yeah, I've seen it in cats. I've seen it in everything. Let's have a quick look at it though, because the waveform starts at 0.
Place to
VO2
start.
is normal, and we get the normal upsweep and into the plateau, and then this jagged down sweep on a long expiration. Let's run that forwards. And this is basically because the patient is really, the patient's nicely relaxed. They're nicely anesthetized. And the jagged peak, this horrible, horrible peak, if you look closely at your pulse oximeter or the rest of your monitoring data, you'll see that these peaks match the heart rate, because these peaks are coming from the heart, changing the volume in the thoracic cavity and driving the end of that breath. So your patient's breathing in and out. Goes the heart. So that's what it's there. So I'm presuming you'd be concerned about this?
No, why would I be? The end-tidal CO2 is the same. Presumably the area under the curve is the total carbon dioxide expelled during the respiratory cycle, is it?
It is. If you actually want to actually calculate the area under there, that is actually remarkably similar to what would be a normal waveform. So these little bits on this end expiratory here would generally fill in the start here if they weren't there. So the patient's CO2 will remain normal. Depending on whether you're using a mainstream or a side stream capnograph. You use a mainstream, don't you, Julian?
Yes, I do.
So you've got very quick and accurate data, so the capnograph will detect this. On side stream capnographs, it's sometimes a little bit more woolly.
Undulating.
Yeah, it's undulating. So nicely anaesthetized patient, non-responsive to pain, and so sometimes you'll see that on a side stream. Side stream suffers from a dilution effect because it's drawing a sample away from the patient, and so the monitor doesn't actually see the jagged peaks. It's more of a woolly impression that you get. There you go. The one thing that we're potentially forgetting here, and
hello.
Here's one I produced earlier.
What?
Very good.
Is that the right way around?
That's horrific. What have they done to that poor puppy?
Winding up something. It looks like to be attacked by something out of Doctor Who.
Have you not seen any of those live dissections live from Camden with that German guy with just the live dissection? So
that's come out backwards on the screen, Mike.
Yeah. So what's happened with this puppy? It's actually suffering from it's diarrhea and vomiting. So yeah, all we've done is we've just drawn the cells out from here. But the point of this particular drawing is with regards to carbon dioxide, is that the cells make it. It's carried by the blood, and the lungs exhale it, and that's all there is about capnography. And if you can get your head around that the CO2 is produced by the cells, it's moved by the blood, and it's exhaled by the lungs, that's it. But that gives you the picture of what's going on with the patient physiologically, all in that one monitor, just by measuring the efficacy or the effect of cells producing the carbon dioxide, blood moving the carbon dioxide, and the lungs exhaling it.
But I have to object here, because it's not entirely produced by the cells.
Okay.
Because sometimes when you're doing things laparoscopically, you're insufflating the abdomen with carbon dioxide, which is sometimes being absorbed to an extent, and therefore you get a slight increase in carbon dioxide because of that.
You're absolutely right, Phil. Absolutely right. And how foolish of me to have shown that slide when you should be in the guest chair.
Oh,
Tough audience.
Tough old audience.
Nice just to add a bit of carbon dioxide in every now and again just to fool your figures.
I think that's absolutely perfect. And what a fabulous question for other people later on. And I think
It's
that's
a gas, isn't it?
It's a gas, absolutely. But I think that's worthy of a CPD certificate, don't you, Julian? Julian, have you got the CPD certificate?
Do you know, I've got one here, and there we go. It's handcrafted. Hold on, I'll just back it. There we go. There we go. Look at that. So CPD certificate. There's the hedgehog of success there.
Yeah.
About
pretty
1 hour of utter science.
Why has it got a hedgehog on it?
It's the hedgehog of success.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't draw very well, but I can draw hedgehogs. Well, actually,
No, you can't.
really.
You can't. No, Julian, you can't.
But
So there we go. So we've done we haven't actually complied with the RCVS regulations with regards to CPD, guys.
oh no, we haven't. We haven't
No,
because
so-
in order to comply, it's not enough just to do the CPD.
No.
You have to reflect.
Yeah. So I think it's probably time that we reflect, and let's hope that it's not a glitch.
Okay.
I'm reflecting. What? This is not how you're supposed to do it.
It's a very efficient reflection. Yeah.
I thought so.
Does it say on that? Have a look at that again.
Yeah?
Does it say on the bottom of that, if this picture offends, consult management?
No, it's oh God, it's George Clooney again.
Can I have an espresso, please?
Yeah.
I've got a joke tonight then, Julian.
I have got a joke.
Yeah.
I have got a joke. I've got a couple of jokes, actually. There was one that I thought of, but just with the Newcastle diet. And it's actually the only joke that's ever been texted to me with the warning, you must read this in a Newcastle accent. Otherwise, it doesn't work. And so, however, if you don't like that one, then the other one I've got is the convent, and the head of the novitiate storm bursts in on the Mother Superior and says, "Oh, Mother Superior, I've just discovered a case of syphilis in the novitiate storm." And the Mother Superior says, "Oh, how wonderful! I was getting so sick and tired of the Chablis."
Dear, oh dear.
I read that in the Cracker.
Yes.
Or was it Doris told me? I can't remember.
Under RCVS guidelines, do we have to reflect on these jokes as well?
No,
Best not to.
no, that's not to. I
think you're right.
I think on that note, we should probably.
We should wind up and may your dog go with you.
May your dog go with you too, Julian. And thank you very much indeed for joining us, Phil.
Congratulations. Well done.
Take care.
May your
See you
dog
in
go with
Manchester next year.
See you in Manchester next year. All the best.
Take care. All the best.
Take care.
And cut.
Nut.
Well, that went really well, didn't it? Fantastic. No glitches at all. Professional throughout, I thought.
Oh God. Who's got work tomorrow?
Yeah, we ought to go to bed, really. What's that? 11:45. Whose idea was this? This was going to be a quick one tonight.
That's my idea.
Yeah.
It's such good fun, isn't it? Really good fun.
Yeah. It's nice to get out a bit, isn't it?
Yeah. What I particularly enjoyed about, particularly this evening, is that we recorded the show. Yeah, so we got that dealt with, and then we've just carried on chatting and enjoying each other's company, bantering back and forth, and that's lovely. That's really
It's really good fun.
If you've made it this far, thank you very much for listening to our show.
We really appreciate all your continued support on this new adventure.
Yeah, so like
And share.
and keep listening, as we know you're going to enjoy the episodes we've got coming up in the future.
Yeah, woo!